Clairvoyance, clarity, it's that magnetic shit, baby. I know some immoral guys being immortalized by people with smaller minds, caught in the facade of the clothes that they buy and the cars that they drive. A sharp eye could see that they pour inside. Those things are hard to disguise from me. They be on demon time until they meet Yahweh Shai and flee because they horrified. Pour wine from prehistoric times. I had foreign rides, now I need foreign ties. Iranian oil mines, underwater shrines, spots to dine near the Zanzibar shoreline. I never died. My past life, I let an Olmec tribe peep the statues. The lips thick and the nose is wide. Viewing artifacts in Europe made me walk with pride. It felt good to know these came out of Moorish minds. It's sublime. We went from the unemployment line to creating jobs for the crew. I want them all to shine, y'all surprised. Didn't expect my meteoric rise. I had to sneak ahead and now I'm with Jordan 5s. Put my haters in the meme with the Jordan cry. No style, you guys wear your jeans Jordan size. Fly secretary, keep my things organized. My body is the house of God, you know the mortgage high. To maintain this property, it costs a lot. This is not a place where pork resides. It's a dog-eat-dog world like Lord of the Flies. You gon' be watery-eyed, I had a ball to survive. Your lady is eye candy, body like a Mercedes, quite fancy. With mileage like an 89 Camry. Pinot Noir dominates the wine pantry. I move like the boss of the Lucchese crime family. My accountant, the modern day Meyer Lansky. I sweet talk Siri, get her to play some Barry. Shining like the high beams on the 5 series. Niggas caught in my light looking like Bambi. I could have been in chow eating foul. Now I'm chewing on the flesh of a cow. It's halal. Designer specs help me see with clairvoyance. My style of dress signals that I'm flamboyant. My queen told me I'm the realest in the city. They gon' paint a mural for me like they did for Nipsey. The spirit of my ancestors living in me. They told me to cop the 760. Pull up in the hood and get a youth some hope. Show them they could get it without moving dope. I cop this fly shit without moving dope. I bought a nice whip without moving dope. Living in a nice crib without moving dope. I got a fly chick without moving dope.
Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the hand dog. Rest of the division, your man Saul Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast, man. What is good to everybody already in the chat? Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. Shout out to my guy Smooth Haynes for letting me, use that song tonight, man. That new tape he got out is fire, so definitely go check him out, man. I love that new song, so definitely big shout out to him for letting me use that. But yeah, so tonight is gonna be a call-in, man. I'm gonna let y'all talk. Y'all hear me talk all the time. We'll go for like about an hour or so, and you guys can call in. Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you like 2-3 minutes and just spout. You know what I'm saying? Before y'all do, I'm calmer now, right? I'm calmer now, so I want to give my analysis, my proper analysis. Like I was kind of saying towards the end of the live that we did once it broke. I don't think that he's going to be the savior of this team, but this is a clear upgrade, and this is a great move. I really still can't find anything wrong with this move. The money, the money works out. It's a short-term deal. He can help these young guys. He's obviously going to be the favorite to start, right? So I think there's nothing wrong with this move. That's just where I am. Like I said, it's not about me tonight. We'll let you guys talk. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. Let's see if we got any channel members in this. We got AK Eagles. Oh, the channel members, the channel members slacking right now. The channel members slacking. So I'm gonna drop the link in the description or in the chat right now. Like I said, I'm gonna give everybody maybe 2-3 minutes. I always say that, and then I end up letting you guys talk forever. But I'm gonna try and get through everybody. Let everybody who wants to talk. And yeah, I got about an hour, so I just dropped it in the chat. If you're on Twitter, go over to the YouTube because I don't think it's gonna post it. If you're on Facebook, you should get it as well. But yeah, YouTube, you already know you got it. But yeah, so we'll see who is first up in here, man. Because and even if you don't want to come in here, just let me know what you guys think in the chat. You know, are you happy about this move? How are you feeling? All right, we got our first victim. We got our first victim in here.
Yes, sir. What's good? What's good, Joe Castro? How you doing, man?
Be making an entrance as well.
Hey, we got.
I thought I was gonna be in the waiting room like everyone else. I gotta wait my turn.
Nah, you got that special access.
You have that special accommodation, bro.
That's my fault.
But what's good? We'll start with Big Play Slay. Obviously, we brought you in here. So what's good? How are you doing? How are you feeling? It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I just can't believe we signed Steven Nelson, man. Like, you saw the video that I put out today, bro. I was just happy, like a good rage happy typeness. Like, you know how when you're yelling, went into like a good type of like yell, like you just screaming and stuff. That's exactly how it was. It's just a really good signing because most of the younger guys, like some of the youth, they've never seen like two good CB corners like together, like two duo corners. So this is kind of good for us because we've had Byron Mitchell and stuff, guys like that. So this is really good for us. I'm super excited for this move.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere too. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the update and I was like, wait, for real? I was like, hold up. Yeah, no, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. How you feeling about it, Brandon?
I mean, I feel good, just like everybody else. I think you even brought it up the other day in the group chat where Steven Nelson like canceled his Twitter account for a little bit or something like that. Something sketchy was going on. He was going to sign somewhere. But like you just said right before you let people on, I was listening and you were saying he's not the savior, but it just goes to show that the Eagles are trying to compete this year. They've made signings where when the season ended, we thought we were just going to lose Carson Wentz, lose everybody, and not have any money to do anything. Like, we were lucky to even get like a fourth string dude just to come in to save face. But the fact that they've got like Anthony Harris, Eric Wilson in the linebacking core, drafted kind of well, and then go ahead and pick up another corner right before, you can't be mad about that. Like, the people were trying to like shoot it down to me today. They're like, oh, well, Pittsburgh fans said he wasn't that good. Yeah, but you guys they don't just understand. We don't have anyone besides Big Play Slay. This Big Play Slay.
I'm the real one. Yeah, this is the real me. I recruited him here. Just
my thing is like with I'll say this. With Steven Nelson, he doesn't have to be a Big Play Slay. Like the pressure that was on, Darius Slay, that is just non-existent for Steven Nelson. You're going to be the number 2. You know what I'm saying? If you play better than that, then awesome. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing but room for you to make us happy, because realistically, as long as you're average, you're good. Like, this more so makes us a scary team in the slot. This more so, in my opinion, gives us so much more options and so much versatility, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I'm probably most happy about right now, is that you have less questions, but you have more things you can do, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You have more weapons and everything. So I'm hype about it. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think that there's going to be another move? Do you think that, because I keep hearing people saying, that there's another domino or something like that. So do you think, we'll start with you on Big Play Slay, do you think that we're going to have another move going on here soon?
Hey, as long as it involves Zach Ertz in it, yes, I do think so.
And what you thinking, Brandon?
Big move right now. I mean, they still need to sign that second round pick that's just sitting there. Like, we still need to sign Landon Dickerson. Yeah. We got to figure out that money. And the only other big moves I can see is A, Ertz staying, B, Ertz leaving, or C, maybe like a Derek Barnett trade or something to free up that $10 million cap space. to maybe do some wiggle room from other stuff. But I think maybe that big thing will be like, Zach Ertz is staying. He's going to be an Eagle, and all that crying was for no reason. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about that either. That would make the offense even more deadlier in my eyes. He is a great hands. He gets open. And for the most part, except for like last year, he's healthy most of the time. So keeping Zach Ertz would be great. But overall, this signing was spot on. We were begging for a corner. We thought they ignored the position, especially in the draft. They didn't draft the corner until late in, and we had Asante Samuel Jr. sitting there waiting for us, and we didn't grab him. So in my eyes, this was a great move. And also a shout out to Manscaped.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah. I love those.
I
love those shirts.
Not just that, but like with the Steven Nelson signing, I feel like it's gonna give more time for the younger guys at the cornerback position to develop. Not where you just throw them in like Avonte Maddox, who we did with him. I feel like they're gonna get more time to develop now that you have Steven Nelson. He's only here for 1 year, but hey, he honestly could be here for another year. If Howie Roseman does the smart thing, because you have $40 to $50 million in cap next year. So if you resign him next year again, I think it's going to give more development for the younger corners like McPherson, like Jaquette. They're going to have more time to develop. And then I feel like it's going to be good for them learning under corners like Darius Slay and Steven Nelson, who have major experience and knowledge about being corners. So, yeah, I think it's going to be more development for the younger guys.
Facts. Now, let me ask you guys this, because this is something that, I asked in the chat earlier and everybody was kind of hyped. So maybe they were just talking because they were hyped, but it is what it is. Everything's calmed down now. It is what it is. So I want to ask you, both of you guys, do you think that, facts, me too. But do you think that Steven Nelson changes that win total? Do you think he brings 2 wins with him? Do you think he's, does he go from, 8 wins to a 10-win team? How does this change anything as far as the overall success of the team in your eyes?
You want to go first, Brandon?
Yeah, sure. I do think it could help us win some more games. The fact that now, even if Steven Nelson's not the best corner in the league, if he can hold up the wide receivers just for a little bit, then we have those dogs in the defensive line that can disrupt the quarterback. And that's what we need. I mean, it's the ultimate team sport. So if the defensive backs can do their part and hold the wide receivers for a little bit longer than maybe last year. I mean, we were recycling through corners last year between Jalen Mills, Craig James, Jaquette, and there's probably Avonte Maddox, and there was probably someone else sprinkled in there too that played that cornerback 2 spot. So if Steven Nelson can stay healthy and provide more than those guys did last year, that's only going to bolster this defense and even help the younger linebackers too at that. So in my eyes, I do think we can be a solid team if everything clicks. Obviously, we got to see what happens with the new coaches and the offense, but on paper, it helps a lot in my eyes.
I completely agree. I think with like what Joel said, to Joel's point, he doesn't have to be the savior because no one's expecting that from him. But as long as he contributes as being the CB2 and he is good enough to be the opposite of Darius Slay, then we have 2 really good cornerbacks. And then if you just look at the perspective of the team, all we need is for Jalen Hurts to have a decent to solid season, and then we keep him next year. And we already did a lot of highway robbery moves this offseason. We signed Anthony Harris for a year and $5 million, 1 year, $5 million type of deal. We signed Steven Nelson for $4 million. And then you got guys like Eric Wilson, who you signed. Those are really good contributors to this team. I think it's going to be massive for the Eagles if they sign guys that like no one thought they were going to get, and sign them for cheap makes it even crazier.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. I think that, like I said even in the chat, like I don't think it's like the end all be all. We're not a Super Bowl team now that we got Steven Nelson, but it's going to be at the very least bearable this year. Like I feel like, it could have got really ugly because we don't know what we have at cornerback 2 behind now Steven Nelson. It feels good saying that, so I'm excited, man. Is there anything you want to say? You want to shout out your channel before we get you out of here, brother?
Hey, just go subscribe to my channel. But hey, appreciate you for having me, Joe Castro. I know we did this a long time ago, but hey, appreciate you, man. I'm always honored to come on here, talk some
I
football, man.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
can't.
already know. Yeah, we gonna
Yeah.
get these going a lot more over the season as well. Now that everything's gearing up, there's stuff to talk about at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely, man. It's been very dry this off season.
Big facts. Big facts. We needed this. We needed this in more ways than one. In more ways than one. But I appreciate you, brother. You have a good night, bro.
Yep, appreciate you guys. See you.
You want to chill for a couple of them?
Yeah, I could chill for a couple, then I'll let other people take the shine.
All right, so next we got my guy Eagles Uncensored, aka Eagles, or AK. Wow, that was so messed up to say. AKA AK Eagles. There we go. I had to slow down for a second. I had to slow down for a second. Shout out to everybody that's in here. We got 30 people in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. But what is good, my guy? AK Eagles, what's good, brother?
What's good, man? Thank you for having me on. Appreciate you both.
Oh, you already know, man. So how are we feeling? How are we Talk to me.
I am ecstatic. No lie. I like the signing. I agree with Slay, what he said. It gives us young guys that we have on this roster time to, develop. So, I've always wanted Nelson now for about a week or about a month now. So, it's one of the things that it was either him or Xavier Howard in my book. So,
facts.
To ask both of you guys a question, does Howie get a pass now? We were on that fire Howie train all season. After this offseason, are you a little bit back on that fire Howie train?
Nope.
He said no. Look,
I will not stutter, man. I will not stutter. One good year is not enough to erase all the bad you did. Like
this, I think it's more like we knew what he could do as far as the salary cap. I feel like the problem with him right now is all the stuff behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And it might not be true, but there's nobody backing him, right? Like there's a lot of people that are saying the messed up stuff, and you can say like, oh, they're just mad that they got cut or whatever. There's a lot of people saying it, but there's nobody being like, nah, we love Howie. If anything, they say they like Doug or they like, this guy or that guy, Deuce Staley, whoever you want to pick, but then nobody's out here like, man, Howie, man, me and him play golf every Sunday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's like that. So I don't know. It's more than just the guys he's putting on the field. That's really where I'm at. I don't know. But I mean, are you giving him a pass? It sounds like you're giving him a pass. I mean,
I don't know if I'm giving him a total pass, but I'm definitely maybe in section like class 2 of the train, like where I'm not in like first class, but like I'm right behind there. So I don't know. You kind of, when things like this happen, you develop somewhat of a sauce because you want everything to work out for your team. But at the same time, like you said, and it was a great point, I never even thought about it. No one has come out and said, oh no, Howie's a great guy. Everyone's been saying Carson Wentz, he's a great teammate. Like you said, Doug Peterson, Deuce Staley, make him head coach, whatever. Nick Sirianni, he's great. He's taking the team by storm. But no one has said anything about Howie. It's been like cricket silent.
Well, and I mean, you got to look at it this way, man. Like, and this is the way I look at it. The only reason that Howie is doing good is because he knows his ass is on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wasn't on the hot seat, I don't think he would be doing so good. He's trying to save his job.
Agrees with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's got to make himself look good. Whether if he's here at the end of next year or he's trying to find a new job at another franchise next year, he has to make himself look good somehow.
Facts. Yeah, and this is it. I mean, it's. I've been on the train of thought that I really don't think this is it for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's a contract year for him, but he's been here so long. I just highly doubt that this is really going to be it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But let's answer this question real quick for Big Play Slay. He said, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think it's more of Sirianni and Gannon or Howie getting these guys for cheap and trying to hold on for his job?
Combo. I think it has to be a combo. I think when you bring in these new coaches, they have to have some kind of say. They're not going to come in and sit back. At least we hope that's not the case. I know everyone said we're going to hire these puppets or whatever. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out for the Eagles, these guys want to be able to move on and have careers in the NFL. So they're going to want their team to do well. And I think that we even saw it in the draft, how they were hyped. They looked more hyped than like Doug Peterson. Like you can tell that like when Doug Peterson, no, these are my guys, they're staying, and next day they're fired. There's a different dynamic there than how it's been so far. So does Howie have a lot of control? Sure, yeah. But I think that to your point, or to the question, I think it's a little bit of a combination of everybody.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
Yeah, you said I'll second that. I like it.
Yeah. Like no lie, man. Like no lie. This is the way I'm looking at it. Howie Roseman's kind of trying to reconstruct this team like he did in 2017 in a way. And I mean, you can clearly see it. You know, Harris is your Malcolm Jenkins. Wilson is your Hicks or your Nigel Bradham. Nelson is your Darby. Kerrigan is your Chris Long. Johnson is your LeGarrette Blount. Smith is your Torrey Smith, your fast, lanky, good hand wide receiver. Fulgham's your Alshon Jeffrey, and Rager's your Nelson Aguilar. You know, I mean, he's really constructing this team like he did in 2017, just with younger players and, you know.
Yeah, just different faces. I mean, I feel like they get stuck in that rut. Outside of Chip Kelly, Chip Kelly ruined this organization. And it wasn't just because of how he was a GM. It was that he failed so miserably as a GM. Because, like, now I feel like the team is so afraid to give other people chances. Like, with Doug, I feel like he probably kind of deserved a shot to see if he could have been a good GM. I mean, he won us a Super Bowl. I mean, let's be real. He won us a Super Bowl. If he would have fell flat on his face as a GM, then he would have fell flat on his face. But if you asked me like last year, do you, even before, before last year, we had that whole season, before that season, if you asked me, hey, Doug wants to be a GM or have GM type powers, I would be like, give him a year or two, see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, I mean, but they're so tainted from that, how Chip Kelly happened. They're afraid to give up that power for better or for worse. So, I don't know if Doug Peterson was really the cause and they're just all sugarcoating it. I don't know what happened, but it all just seems like it's all Howie. So I'm going to say that these players are coming mostly for the coach, if I'm being real, and like the energy and everything. Because like people understate what people say in interviews, like the fact that our players are out there so much doing so many interviews, just looking like they're having fun, practicing together, and everything's going viral with us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a fun place to see, because especially if you love football. Like Steven Nelson is a guy that's a competitor. He's competed most of his career. I know there was a dry patch and I think the Chiefs, they weren't that great when he was there, but either way, I forget where, but either way, I know he had a dry patch there, but he's a competitive guy. So when you get people like that, you can build through the adversity. You know what I'm saying? Because most people just like want to see you win. Once you're losing, you start seeing the real sides of people. Everything's cool and dandy when you're winning, but once you start losing, you start seeing people's true colors. So like, I love that we're getting people like Anthony Harris that, is still trying to prove it after a good year. Eric Wilson that had, a career year possibly. He may never put that many, tackles up again in his career, and he's still on a prove it deal. Like that says something to me, So even this deal, this is a prove it deal. So I'm hype. I'm hype on all levels. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is a great sign. So let me ask y'all something real quick. Who do you guys think is the biggest winner from this? Because, I mean, outside of Steven Nelson, because, I mean, you're getting $4 million. But, do you think – because I'll say mine's right off bat, if I'm being honest. And I'm going to say – I've said this before. I'm going to say it's either Zach McPherson or Michael Jacquet. Because now you get a chance to go into the slot, or you get a chance to just sit for a year and have a rookie year. You know what I'm saying? Learn behind two very good cornerbacks. Depending if we keep both of them, I doubt that we will, but you get that opportunity. So it would be one of those two. Do you think it's somebody else, or what do y'all think?
You want to go?
Yeah, I said it before. I think it's the defensive front, the front seven, I should say, because those linebackers still need that extra help. And if we had a crappy secondary where our safety's going to play, we didn't have a corner, and no one just threw to Slay because he's just they figured, let's throw it to the other guys. Like when Jacquet was in against the Cowboys, and they kept throwing the ball to Michael Gallup, and it was just like, oh my God, enough is enough. And so I do think the front seven, if you have a good secondary, then the front seven has a chance to either attack, go straight up the field, or have a chance to at least they don't have to try to cover too much. They don't have to worry about, all right, if I go too far outside to help with the corner over there, then them getting beat by all the middle plays and stuff like that. So I think it helps just overall success with the defense.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Mine is Slay.
Facts.
You know, to be honest, last year, I know like he's on one side and the CB2's on the other. We understand it. But you don't think for 1 minute that guy was sitting there and that shit was running through his head like, man, it's going to be a long pass and, you know, we're screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a comfortability there for him knowing that Nelson's going to be there now. You know, even though he can't cover both CBs, you know, he still has to run over there and help if the ball's thrown that way. But now having Nelson there, I think that takes a lot of pressure off Slay. You know,
Right,
so I
agree.
think he's going to be the one benefiting the most from this.
I agree on that 100%. Now let me ask you this. This will probably be the last question. I just want to know, because I'm going to probably make this the last question for everybody, because this is an intriguing one to me, because I feel like a lot of people are going to say something different. But does adding Nelson, I was about to say Slay because you kept on saying Slay, but does adding Nelson add wins? And if so, how many do you think? Or do you think same, you know, outcome as before?
People think I'm crazy when I say it all the time, but I've been saying it all year for the last 3 months. 11, 12 wins. But now that we have Nelson, that just more solidifies it. And I was saying 11 to 12 without Nelson. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, dude, you want to doubt this team, go ahead. You know, you want to doubt this team, go ahead. But you have to realize something. We went into the playoffs in 17 with an underdog mentality, and we weren't even supposed to be underdogs. We're really fucking underdogs now. Like you think 17 was something. Wait till you see this team this year. That's why I don't doubt this team, man. So, yeah, I have us at 11, 12 wins. Easy.
I'll take 11. I'll take 10. I'll take
I mean,
10.
look at our schedule and tell me how we lose more than 4 or 5 games. Look at our schedule and honestly
realistically, like realistically, when you look at the schedule, there are a lot of winnable games on that schedule, depending on how good your roster pans out. I mean, I have confidence, but I'm trying not to be overly confident, because then that's when you get you know, because last year we were all overly confident and
we were hyped.
it started sucking, and it was just like a snowball effect. So I'm gonna stay with my mindset until they prove me wrong. But AK Eagles, is there anything you want to say before I get you out here? Shout out your channel.
Yeah, real quick, man. I don't know if you got my thing yesterday, but I got the shirt.
I like it. I like it.
Definitely, if anybody out there wants one, get one. They're really comfy. Honestly, I was actually really amazed how soft they are. So
that's that pure cotton, brother. That's that.
Right?
You know what that's that
it's
Egyptian
nice.
cotton, 1,000 thread.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, definitely, man. It's an awesome shirt. I love it. Definitely, got to get me some for my channel now.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. But no, I appreciate you, man. But yeah, everybody definitely go check out Eagles Uncensored, man. I've been on there before, so definitely go show love and, you know, keep the love within the Eagles community. You feel me? But yeah, I'm gonna get you out of here, man. I appreciate you coming on, brother.
No problem. Thank you, man. Anytime. Appreciate you.
Sir. Have a good one, man. All right, so you still chilling? You still chilling?
Yeah,
good?
I'll chill for one more, and then can't let out all my secrets. I got my own solo.
You got to make your own videos. I wanted to shout out real quick. Shout out to Philly Fresh in the building, man. I haven't seen you in a grip. We got to work, man. We got to work. It's been a minute. And shout out to my guy Joey Shakes in the building. You know what I'm saying? You always got to show love to the legends. You know what I mean? You always got to show love to the legends. 10-7 max. See, that's the thing. Everybody's saying like different. It's getting interesting. It's getting interesting. So next we got my guy Papa Sora in the building. Another channel member, I believe, right? I got his name up there. Yeah, he is a channel member. Shout out to him. And this was the best idea because I got a terrible memory. Shout out to my guy Papa Sora. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I cannot complain. I mean, I could, but who would listen, right? You know, maybe the 33 people in here, you know, maybe they would. I doubt it though. But how are you feeling about Steve Nelson, man? How are you?
I'm feeling real good. Feeling really good. I've been begging for this for months now, as probably half the fan base. So yeah, can't really complain about the signing.
Yeah, it's exactly what we needed. Now, I want to kind of ask you this question too. I know I'm kind of recycling this one, but who do you think is the biggest winner from this signing? You know, is there a position group or a certain player that you think wins the most from us getting a solid cornerback too?
I mean, I think probably what everybody was saying. I think you can go with Slay, Zach, because Zach's now got two veteran cornerbacks he can sit for a year, learn behind, possibly compete for the slot. You can say the same thing about Jaquette. Slay definitely. AK did make a good point with the mentality. Like, it's going to be a long pass. I have no idea if this guy's going to make it. This is the guy's first snap in the NFL. No idea if he's going to perform. I do like how they've kind of already built the relation, because Slay was recruiting Nelson for like months now.
Facts.
So he's kind of already building that trust, that relation. Nelson always responds to Slay whenever he was recruiting. So it was kind of like, I'm 95% sure he's going to sign with the Eagles. It's just a matter of when is he going to sign. So now I don't got to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, no, facts. No, like I was saying in my chat earlier, bro, it was like, now we can stop all the what ifs and if you know, how about if this happens type thing, you know. So I'm glad about that. I'm definitely happy about that. But we'll see. I mean, do you think that Steven Nelson, like, this is my thing. Do you think Steven Nelson could be the answer beyond this year? Because we know that Darius Slay has a big contract. This question goes to both of you. We know Darius Slay has a big contract next year because he restructured, so he's getting above 20 mil. I know that number by heart, but you know, he's getting above 20 mil on our cap. So, do you think it could become a situation where we move on with Steven Nelson as that cornerback one if he can perform well this year?
You want to go first, Brandon, or
it all depends on how he plays this year, right? I mean, if he ends up, because I know he didn't have his best of the best season last year, and I mean, Steelers defense is pretty solid to say the least. They have players, they have similar to our defense, to be honest, with the defensive line getting after the quarterback, the sacks. So that helps. That helps corners all day. If you can have a solid defensive line, I just hope this doesn't turn into like a Byron Mitchell situation where the Seahawks defense was really good. We go ahead, we grab Byron Mitchell, and then he ends up being terrible. And I'm not saying that he's going to be terrible, but I don't know. We have to wait to see what happens. I don't think the Eagles will pay Slay all that money. There might be a chance to restructure, or might have to be kind of like see you later at that point, especially if the season doesn't go the way we want it to. But I do think the Eagles need to get younger. They need to hopefully next year use some of that early draft capital to go ahead and get a corner, even if it's not that Byron Maxwell. Thank you. See, I don't even remember I just know it was something in that space. But to use a capital to get a corner early next year, I think that would be even more beneficial than trying to hold on to one of these guys.
Is it me now, or?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I think it kind of depends on two things. One, if Slay shows signs of kind of slowing down, I think, and Nelson just shows signs of turning up, I think that matters. I think it also matters if what's its face? If they draft a cornerback in the first, like if they draft a Kyrie Lom, who's an outside guy, because Nelson can play slot. So if you plan on keeping them both, you can move Nelson a slot, have Kyrie Lom, but then it's also kind of, is that going to be a backup, or is he going to win the slot this year and beat out Avonte Maddox? Is Kevon Wallace going to beat out Avonte Maddox in the slot? Because apparently there were reports of wanting to move him to cornerback. I didn't know, but I never saw that, but apparently a lot of other people did. So I think it kind of depends on training camp, if either one of them shows signs of slowing down, and just the draft pick in general.
Yeah, I think if we have to look, if we can get somebody like a Stingley or something, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? If one of those, or even homeboy from Florida, or if somebody else comes out the woodwork, if somebody else comes out the woodworks, we can look at them too. So I'm all for getting a young guy. I mean, look, Steven Nelson, I think, is 29. Going into this season. At some point, he'll be 29, or he's 28. Something. It's something like that. He's around that age. 2-3 years, I wouldn't be mad if we can get him for cheap. 2-3 years, wouldn't be mad. He's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to get young. I'm down to go young on the defense, but I'm not down to go, you know what I'm saying? Just like no experience. You know, it would be nice to have some experience there. So that's probably where I'm at with it. I mean, it is what it is. If we can get top flight cornerbacks and we're not going to have, you know, it is what it is. I just don't want to go back to where we were, where we're just trying to figure out and go through cornerback after cornerback after cornerback and just keep drafting bums, because that's what we ended up. So
yeah, because
I don't know. That's where
I saw something. I think it was like, sorry to interrupt, but I think it was this is the best secondary we've had since like the early 2000s with Lito, Dawkins, Samuel, and all that. And I just kind of looked at that and just went, yeah, they right about that. It's been a hot minute.
And we ain't even see him play yet. That's the sad part, but it's true.
Now, do you guys think, because I saw someone put this in the comments, do you guys think that we have the best secondary on paper and if healthy in the division?
Yeah, I do. I think it's close with the Giants.
I was going to say, Giants definitely. I like
our safeties over the Giants.
Yes, just based off of the season of last year, not in general. I think Bradbury probably had the edge over Slay, but just because we had a terrible season. Adoree Jackson, dude can't really stay healthy, so that's going to be a big if how good he is. If Adoree Jackson tanks and if Gannon's as good as we think he all is, looking at what he did with Xavier Rhodes, then yeah, I think we're going to have the better secondary.
Yeah, I agree. I can't even think of who's in Washington secondary. I'm sure they got good players. They don't got Josh Norman, so I know that's a good thing for them. You know what I'm saying? But like
they got rid of Darby went to the Broncos, so they don't have Darby anymore.
All right.
So yeah, I don't really know who they're going with, so I would have to say that we're better than theirs. And then you look at the Giants. I think it's very close. But I definitely would give us the edge at the second spot, and I would give us the edge at the safety spot. So at those two spots, I give us a slight edge, so it goes a little bit over. But so I would say we're better than them, but I don't think it's close with the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't even have a secondary. I could be in their secondary right now.
Their number one corner is probably Kelvin Joseph, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Boss Man Fat. He gonna rap. he gonna try and like beatbox to the wide receivers to death. Shout out to my girl Nikki Cunningham becoming a channel member. I appreciate you. Welcome to Philly the fam. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. So all right, I want to ask you one more question. This is my go-to question. I just like this question. Do you think that adding Steven Nelson adds wins?
Yes, absolutely. I kind of looked between like the 8-10-ish. I'm now starting to look at I think you might get a couple of games that might be close and then the defense kind of saves it, so you might get like one or two extra games. But I do think you'll get around like a 9-12-ish win series. I think personally the goal, and I think this just says a lot about the team in general, is if you can make the playoffs. Not even just division winning, which I would like to win the division, obviously, and I think we can. But like even if you can get a wild card, I think you're going in the right direction this season. I think that kind of shows, hey, Hurts can bring us to a playoff. If he does well in the playoffs and starts winning games, be like, all right, we don't got to worry about Watson. We've got these 3 picks or 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, depending on what the Colts pick does. And just we can start building on this team, head for the Super Bowl. Because I do feel like Howie's kind of recreating the Super Bowl formula. Not saying we're going to the Super Bowl, but I feel like you look at some of the additions like Kerrigan being Chris Long. You look at Harris replacing Jenkins. You look at all of these guys and you kind of see the familiar pieces, but it's also like they're younger. They have different talents. The players seem more excited about this coaching staff. Everybody kind of just seems excited. There's not really any like doom and gloom, like not one person being like, well, this guy over here and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, I think to even go a little bit further on what you said, Brandon, I think we got one of the better secondaries in the league if everything pans out. I think health is the only thing we really got to worry about on a lot of fronts. Like offense is, can they win us games? That's the big deal. But defensively, man, I'm excited about this defense, and I haven't been excited about a defense in a long time. So this definitely feels good. Do you want to say anything before we get you out of here, Papa Sawyer, brother?
No, although I will say, got an interview tomorrow, so kind of had to shave up. Fortunately, my razor sucked, but if you want a good razor, go to Manscaped and use code Philly for 20% off. I don't know if that's the correct code.
You got close. It's Philly TP, but I love that. I love the effort. That was awesome. I love it. I love how I'm starting this thing because everybody just loves the plugs, the random plugs. I love that.
We know we're gonna get them, so we might as well try to keep adding on.
Exactly. You guys got to give me even better ones. I love it, man. Thank you so much, though, bro.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, man. I'll holla at you, man, in Discord. You already know.
Alrighty.
All right, peace. All right, so next we have, I can't read his full name. Got Devontae Smith, apparently. I guess we got Devontae Smith. I guess we got Devontae Smith. We got Devontae Smith in the building. What's up? What's going on, man? How you feeling about this Steven Nelson pickup?
Oh, I'm gonna cut it out. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna cut the light on for y'all. 1 second. Okay, how y'all doing today?
We doing good. We're doing good, brother. How you doing?
Good. I'm Eagles fan all day. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the hair. I gotta get it twisted up.
You good?
I actually, when I heard the news, I was in a car, and something told me to look on the Eagles fan page on Instagram, and I looked on the page, and I was like, no way, we got this dude. And when I looked him up on Instagram and the internet, I was like, yeah, we got him. But I think we okay.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you think we were going to get him? Because I know a lot of people were looking deep into the stuff.
I actually didn't know we was going to get him until I looked on Instagram and seen all the comments saying huge W. And one dude was on there talking something else. And I was like, it was just out the ordinary for me. And I was like, I was praying and something told me the next day I was like, we're going to get him. But we got him. So see what he's going to do.
I respect that. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think we need moving forward? Is there any other pieces to this puzzle you want to see how we bring on?
I maybe Deshaun Watson trade about him. And I feel like we just have to see out of Jalen Hurts and stuff like that. Because if we bring in him, we might have to trade him out. And I'm like, what's the point of trading him going to a different team? And we haven't really seen too much out of him just yet. Until last year, but last year was a hookup. But I feel like, for me, I think we're okay. I just think people hating on us. That's all.
Facts. What you think, Brandon?
That's the key right there.
People are doubting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like even before we won the Super Bowl, they were doubting us, and I feel like that was part of it. We weren't. People weren't talking about us the whole time, and we showed everybody up. And I think that's the case this season. And to prove your point, I agree with you about. I talked the other day about Deshaun Watson, and if we brought him on, would he be able to bring us to the ship? But let's say hypotheticals, if a big trade happened and we did get a guy like Deshaun Watson now, with this defense that on paper and healthy looks really good, looks good in our eyes, that would be very scary in a sense. Like the NFC would have to be put on notice at that point. But I'm hoping for the best for Hurts, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
facts.
For Hurts, I'm probably not gonna be here long, but for Hurts, I'm just looking for him to have the same bringing the energy, like be out there and just ready to play. Seeing from his page and seeing him posting stuff, him working on and stuff, he better be ready for some football. That's all I know.
Heck yeah. So before you run out of here, man, what do you think the Eagles are gonna do? What's your record prediction?
Maybe I got 11-6 with Nelson.
Okay.
That's solid.
And I like that. Go undefeated, don't get me wrong with them when I say I want us to go all the way, but I feel like it won't happen, and I have some ups and downs with our schedules and stuff. But for the week 1 game against the Falcons, I think we'll get that one. I think, for me, in my opinion, I think we should be able to get that one, but it depends on what they have. But the Falcons, they don't really have anything. Like, they got Matt Ryan. I ain't worried about him either. I ain't worried about listen, I ain't worried about the Falcons, you know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about them, but I feel like
actually worked out because I didn't even think about it. It's like now that if we have a solidified number 2 corner, then a guy like Avonte Maddox can go ahead and maybe cover like I'm drawing a blank, Kyle Pitts or something, and one of the tight ends. Like maybe you don't have to bring down a slower safety when you know these guys are fast, and you can put a slot corner who has the speed and has proven that he's very versatile, but give him a chance to stay in one position. And I think that's going to help us a lot, especially with these teams that rely on faster tight ends and everything like that.
But yeah, I'm just ready for the season to get here. I'm just ready for Eagles football. That's all.
So before you go, what's your name, man? I haven't seen you on the channel before.
I'm Rashad. This is my first time on here.
Hey.
All right, man. Well, welcome to the family, Rashad. I appreciate you being so patient in the background, man. For real.
We're gonna have us some good seasons and maybe some ups and downs, but I feel like we'll be okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you, like I said, for coming on, man. And get to whoever was calling you, bro, because it sounds like you was about to get in trouble.
That was my sister calling me down to eat dinner, but I'm coming. I got one more question for you. What about the name? He was with us before. They called him Strap.
Michael Kendricks?
No.
LeBlanc?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on him leaving?
You can start, Brandon. You can take that first.
I mean, he had a cool nickname. He had some big plays for sure, especially in the playoffs against the Saints. He had that interception that really kind of made him a hometown player for us. But to be on the honest side, he was really just another guy in that rotation, to be quite honest. I mean, he wasn't like someone that you relied on, someone that like, we need Strap. We need him in there right now to be that.
I actually like that nickname for him, Strap.
Yeah, Strap, that's a dope nickname, and like his whole swagger and demeanor is dope. And I mean, I hope for the best for him, but he wasn't someone that like I felt bad that was left. Like like Malcolm Jenkins, I was upset that he was gone, even though I know there was the whole contract thing, which was sketchy in a sense. But that's someone I would have wanted to keep. Strap, it's kind of like, dang, he's gone, but oh well.
Yeah, no, see, I feel like with Strap, with Crayvon LeBlanc, it's very much like a Jalen Mills. Like Jalen Mills wasn't the hugest loss ever, no, but it was that sideline presence. It was that locker room presence. You know, he was a good person. He fit the locker room. He fit the city. So that sucks. And you know, you could even, maybe I'm reading too much into it. People got me reading Twitter bios and stuff. But like, just the way that he exited was. You could tell he wanted to be a Philadelphia Eagle till probably very last minute. You know what I'm saying? Like till he signed that contract, he probably still wanted to be an Eagle. I have nothing but respect for him. I agree with Brandon, though. It isn't the end of the world. I hope that he has a great career. Not for the Patriots, though. I hope he goes somewhere else. He's with the Dolphins, right? So, yeah, he could be good for the Dolphins. I'll take that.
Okay. And I know I got to go, but I had another thing. What's your thoughts on Devontae Smith? Y'all like him a little bit?
Dog. Straight dog.
I don't know why.
Smith.
I don't know why people are hating on him, but this is the thing. I was on somebody live one day, right? I'll tell you a story. And some people was like, it gets me as Cowboys and Giants fans. Giants fans, when I was watching that draft one night, I was watching it and I was like, we're not gonna get this dude. Just listen, hear me out. I was like, we're not gonna get him. And when I look back, I kept watching that highlight of when we got him over and over and over again. I kept watching it until I went to sleep. I couldn't stop watching that draft. I was like, oh yeah. And then, but my cousin that goes to that University of Alabama, he said when he seen him, he was a dog.
Yeah.
I like
people hate because they don't have him. That's the problem. Everyone was high on him. They were talking so much praise.
Oh yeah, and then the people
in college right before the draft, and because he's an Eagle, that's when they want to start talking their junk.
I'm asking you two more things, and I'm gonna get off here. So one day I was on this live, right? Because he went Instagram live, and you know you got haters in there, and people gonna hate. It was that one Eagles fan, and that person, it was a couple Eagles fans, and they didn't like me at all. They was like, nah, we're not going that far. I was like, yeah, we are. And people was like, he's trash and this and that. And I was like, you just wait and see what he going to do on the field and when he gets to catching interceptions and doing whatever he's going to do. And what was I going? Oh, yeah. So I'm on Instagram, right? What Eagles player should I have as a profile? I'm just being curious.
I would say Hurts. Hurts or Smith. Hurts or Devontae Smith.
All right, I'm going to put Smith up there.
I like Miles Sanders, too. That you can't go wrong with Booby Miles.
Oh, yes, sir. I like him. He's unbelievable. Unstoppable, too.
Yeah, that's my dog.
And people say he's going to beat I think he's going to beat somebody in he's going to take the running back record or something like that, like a record or something.
If he gets enough carries, who knows? I mean, I think if he can stay healthy and get the work that he deserves, we'll see. I think sky's the limit for a lot of these players, if I'm being honest.
But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go. But yeah, y'all gotta get me away from Washington fans too. Y'all gotta get me.
We gonna do our best. We got you, bro. We definitely got you.
I'm in Washington with Maryland basically, and I'm surrounded by a whole lot of fans, and they don't like me. And my aunt, don't get me wrong, my aunt and uncle are Washington fans, and they don't like me at all either.
Hey man,
Hey,
you
I grew up
repping
a
for us. You repping for the birds.
facts. I grew up around a bunch of Giants fans, so
Hey.
I feel you. I feel you, bro.
Yes.
But yes, sir. But you have a good night, man. Thank you for coming on here and welcome to the family, bro. Like I said, man.
You an Eagles fan too? The one next to you too?
Of course, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't have a right now. I'm just repping Manscaped.
Oh, you good. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.
I was gonna suggest,
right,
you can go ahead, you can get some Manscaped. I was like, oh, maybe he has to wait a couple of years.
Yeah, you gotta give him a little bit of time. He ain't ready for it yet. All right, so next week, shout out to everybody in here. We got 35 people in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Next, we got Sonic in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And then I'm gonna call it a night, to be honest. So we got 4 more people in here. We're gonna get this in. What's good, Sonic? Can you hear me?
What up? How's it going? Sorry,
What's good? Did I catch you off guard?
I have family here, and I'm trying to find some privacy.
You need somewhere you can scream at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But what's good, man? How you feeling?
All right.
How you feel about the Steven Nelson signing?
What should I say that hasn't been already said? He's solid. He can tackle. He can get some interceptions too.
Yeah, tackling's huge, and I feel like that's something that I thought we were gonna miss with Jalen Mills, because I know he wasn't the best cover corner, but he was one that did have the swag and would go after players. He might miss some tackles, but he tackled. Some corners make business decisions, and they completely just whiffed guys. And I feel like we were gonna miss that with Jalen being gone and moved to safety at some point last year. But when he did play corner, we noticed that, okay, he's back at corner because we needed him to be, and he was out there making tackles. So getting a guy that can hit and can play, that can help stop the run and everything like that's solid.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, like I said before, I think there's literally zero wrong with this. Like, I can't find one thing that makes me be like, damn, we shouldn't have did this part of it. But like, I love the money part of it. I love the person. I won't say I love, but I like the person. I think it's a very good player. You know what I'm saying? It's a big upgrade. It helps the younger guys, helps the veterans. Everybody wins. It gives Jonathan Gannon more weapons. I feel like this year, it is what it is. If you can't get something out of these guys, you know, that's on coaching at this point, because we have talent. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to believe that we do not have talent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to see something. Now, do you think, Sonic, do you think that we added wins by adding Steven Nelson?
Yeah, we add wins. I would say probably like, because my record was probably 8 and 9.
And what would you say now? You would still say 8 and 9?
Probably, but probably like 9 and 8.
Okay, so we get over the 500.
You're trying to be realistic with the situation and don't want to push it too far ahead.
That's where I'm at. I stood where I was I said like 6 to 9 wins, but you know, I stood there. I said more closer to like the 9 wins now that we have them. So I'm pretty much there with you. Now, who do you think is the biggest winner from this signing?
Slay. I mean, the guy tried to recruit him on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's a winner right there.
Facts. Yeah, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I don't know. I mean, there's not much to say. I guess I don't know. I'm hype about this. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like, I don't know. There's nothing bad to say. There's nothing like really, you know what I mean? Like, this is just an all around thing. So I hope Slade does it. Do you think that he's gonna be the long term answer, or do you think this is just a 1-year thing?
Probably like a 1-year thing.
Word. Yeah, word.
So,
I feel you.
If you do think it's a 1-year thing, what do you think would be the plan in the future then? Like, let's say he's gone next year. Are you confident in some of the young guys we have, or do you think we would need to really use one of those first round picks next year and grab a corner there and really hope that guy can be a starter?
I would say get a draft a corner or use the young guys to develop. That's my thing. Just have Steven Nelson teach the young guys and then let them see what they can do in the second season. or if we draft like a corner to see what he can do. That's just my thing.
I respect that. Hell yeah. So is there anything you want to say before I get you out of here, my man?
Nope. Well, I did make that highlight video of Steven Nelson.
Oh,
Okay, we're gonna have to go check it out.
This was before he signed. But don't worry,
Okay.
I'm probably gonna send the link. I'm probably gonna send the link in the while
Yeah.
you're
put it in the
while you're
chat.
doing the live streaming, and then send it when you're done.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. But all right, man. Yeah, thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right. So next, shout out to everybody in here. We got 40 people in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you are new. Love you all. Love you all. Next we got a man that honestly he keeps coming in and out. So I know he was first. So I'm gonna bring him on first. But he is one of the very very supportive fan and just subscriber. And I just shout out to my guy Vic, because honestly, whether it's Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, he's always sharing, always showing so much love. So I'm glad to have him on. This is gonna be my first time having him on. So what's good, Vic? What's good, my guys? Thank you for having me on. Definitely, man. It's a pleasure. So how are we feeling, man? We got Steven Nelson. The drama's over. You know what? How was the initial reaction? I want to know the initial reaction, and now how are you feeling?
Well, I was actually live on with Bird 31 at the time. As we came on, he broke the news to me, literally. So it was, we kicked off the pod pretty, great with that news.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? How else better do you want to start with, with good information? But yeah, you got to be super excited, man. It makes our defense more versatile. You know what I mean? It gives us more options, different looks. So it's only going to help out the linebackers also, because right now that's the position that's most lacking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, you was gonna say something?
Oh no, I was just saying yes, sir. Like I was.
Yeah, I think that this, like I said, I've said this a million times because I really do feel it. Like there's really no bad part of this. Like there's nothing you can take out. Even as a Cowboys fans haven't been talking, they talk, because this is a scary thing. If Steven Nelson would have went to the Cowboys, I would have gave them their flowers. I would have been like, yo, all right, you're kind of putting the defense together. But no, your secondary is still trash, and that's why they're not talking. So it's gonna be scary, man. Like you have Darius Slay, you have Steven Nelson now. I like this. I like this a lot. I really do. And I feel like I know a lot of people are still talking about Xavier Howard, and I want to get y'all opinion on that as well. But I feel like if Xavier Howard is a guy that you still want next year, it's still probably a guy you can get. If he's angry right now, he's probably going to be angry next year. If he has a bad season, you'll probably get him for even cheaper. If that's where you want to go, that's where you can go. You have so much assets, if that's a decision you want to make. But right now, you're giving these young guys a chance to show who they are. You know what I'm saying? So that's the most exciting for me, to be honest. But what do you guys think? Would you have rather gotten Xavier Howard, or are you content with this signing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would say I'm content with this. We didn't have to give up assets for it. We didn't have to give up that first round. You're going to have to give up probably a first round pick for Xavier Howard. The dude's a beast. It is what it is. Is he probably better than Nelson? Sure. But you're going to get a guy on a cheaper deal that you didn't have to give up assets to potentially have 3 first-round picks or 4 in the first 2 rounds next year, or use those if, let's say, Hurts doesn't play well and you can go after Deshaun Watson and you don't have to use him on Xavier Howard. So I'm very content with getting a guy like Nelson off the waiver wire or off the free agency list and being able to fill that spot that we needed so bad.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's nothing not to be happy about. Nelson fills a position of need. He's a good player. I mean, he came at a great price. I think if I'm correct, it's $4 million for the season. That's all. That's a pretty good price. That would have been a price we most likely would have been paying someone else. It could have been Nickel Roby-Coleman. You know what I mean? So you can't be mad at this pick. Not at all. Like I said, it only benefits us.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, that money is beautiful. Like it really, and I said this. You know what I'm saying? You guys can G check me. You can go back and watch it. That's a beautiful thing about YouTube. You can always get. I said this a couple times. If he wants 5, if they can't meet at 4, I'm going to be pissed. And I said that a million times. $5 million is cool with me. That would have been cool. I would have been ecstatic. There was a time. Let's not forget. There was a time a couple weeks ago we were thinking we were going to have to pay upwards of $10 million for him. Like let's not forget that. Just a couple weeks. Things were crazy. So I love it. There's nothing wrong with this. Now, there's questions around it, right? You know, you have the Zach Ertz issue going on. You have the Zach Ertz issue going on. Like, that's really all we got going on right now. I can't really think of anything else. Everything else is just questions about our players. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's really where I'm at. You could say the Landon Dickerson issue, but I think that's going to figure itself out. I can't see us making that type of – I mean, there's one other player, I believe, that just never played for the team that drafted them. And that was the first overall pick of all time, Jay Berwinger, and that was from the Eagles. So maybe we can, you know, repeat our own history with this guy, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I doubt that we make history twice. But what are your guys' thoughts now that we have Nelson here? Because I know a lot of people were kind of connecting the two, right? We were saying we got to get rid of Ertz so we can get Nelson here. Now that we have Nelson here, do we still want to get rid of Ertz? What is your feelings on that? Do you want him here if he wants to be here? Where are you guys sitting on that?
You go ahead.
I think right now we're in a position to sit back and wait for the right offer to come our way. Like, Ertz's money is already accounted for. It's $8.5 million. No one really wants to pay it, but it's already accounted for. So, yeah, that's all we're going to do right now. We're going to wait for the right offer to come our way. We're not going to look desperate and try to give him away for a cheap price. If anything, we're satisfied with having Ertz. Ertz can stay, be our second back, can be our backup. He can, you know, help out the rookies. He can be that leader role. He can take that over. Now, let me just go back to something you mentioned before about Xavier Howard. The reason why I didn't mention him is because I really don't care for Xavier Howard on this team. I mentioned it before. 2 seasons ago, he was very happy with the deal he had. And I get it. Byron Nelson came over. He was a free agent, got his money, and he wanted what he considered was respect, which is only more money. Now, what kind of player is that coming into Philly? What are we looking at 2-3 seasons down the road? Is he going to do the same again? Is he going to complain and not feel respected? I'm glad that we have Steven Nelson because even though it's a 1 year, this season, it's not just for Jalen Hurts, it's for everyone. Everyone's on notice. This is a wait-and-see approach for this season. We're going to look, we're going to evaluate this year. Next year, we have 3 first-round picks that we can take care of a lot of needs with. You know, we have a second-round pick also, which is just another first-round pick, basically. So I think that's what we're going to do this year. We're not going to have to go out our way and grab someone. If something happens and someone gives us an offer, Zach Ertz, and it benefits us, and by all means, I don't think Howie's dumb enough not to accept it, especially if it's something that a player that can stay for the future and work out.
Right. And I mean, to continue, I mean, your thoughts there on Xavier Howard, I'm sure that's what other teams are kind of thinking about Ertz. It's like the guy's not happy with his contract. I think if I'm not mistaken, we offered a better contract a couple of years ago and he declined it, maybe to try to get more money. But that's a similar situation where you're going to be taking on a guy that wants more money. Or maybe that's to us. We think it's about the money. For all we know, he goes over there and restructured his contract or some shit, just like Carson Wentz did when he went over to the Colts. But if we can afford him, because I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, and I would want your guys' opinion on this, if you guys would be a little upset about this, if Nelson's contract had to go into next season, if it took away from next season's money in order to fit him on the team this year. I'm assuming
knowing Howie, it probably does. It probably has at least 1 or 2 ghost years. I mean, yeah, you know, let's be positive here, Brandon. Let's not. No, it probably does though. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I mean, if we can afford everybody and keep Ertz, I mean, then why not? That's just another weapon. He's a proven weapon. Last year seemed like it was between the injuries and more of a business decision not to really give it his all. But we saw the year before that when he broke his ribs and came back within like 2 weeks to play in order to help us try to get to the playoffs. So the guy has heart. He's Philly strong. We love him in Philly. And if everything can be worked out where he can play here and give his all, then he could be the starter for all I care, because between him and Goddard with the 2 tight end sets, that's just going to be deadly. And that'd be awesome for Hurts. That'd be great for his development because good tight ends are a young quarterback's best friend.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I love Zach Ertz. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. But if he doesn't want to be here, he can go. I really it is what it is. I think that Dallas Goedert is more than capable of stepping in. I think that, Richard Rodgers is more than capable of being a solid backup in this league. And Jack Stoll has potential to be a traditional tight end, maybe more. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're looking at him as kind of the older Brent Selleck type role where he was just a elite blocker and he could, sneak around a little bit and catch some balls out of the, off the line and everything, then you can get that from Jack Stoll. But you have three tight ends, in my opinion, that fit roles. You know what I'm saying? Zach Ertz is a guy that can fit any role. He can, he can do what he's going to do. He's a great player, but we don't need him at this point. So if the Eagles were to say, listen, we just don't want this drama. You're just, it's just too much. We're going to cut you. We're going to save that $8 or whatever $1 million it is. And we're going to move into next year with that money. I don't even care at this point. I feel like, because I don't think anybody's really going to sign him after this. Like, I don't think his value is as high as Eagles fans say that it is or feel that it is. Because if you really look at his career, outside of like 4 years around that Super Bowl, like he had 2 years good before it, maybe like 2 years after it, who was like Zach Ertz really wasn't the guy that we drafted. I mean, you could say the same thing with Brandon Graham. There's a lot of players that we love. But if you look at their track record, maybe we're kind of hyping up a little bit more than, there was a period where Zach Ertz was a top 3, top 2 guy at tight end. But that period kind of came and went pretty quick. I don't know. I know I kind of ranted right there, but, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Some of these tight ends get better with age. I mean, look at like Delaney Walker, Vernon Davis, Jason went and played until I don't know how, but he's old and he just retired. So some of these tight ends, when they turn 30, they turn it up for a couple of years after that. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think he could be good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think a lot of people forget that when Ertz came here, we had to have countless off seasons with him having to learn how to block, him going to summer camps just for that. Just like you said, his prime came and went. So that's why a lot of times I don't understand why people are saying that, Ertz isn't the type of person to be a backup. If anything, he would have learned all he had to learn on what a constant professional is and how it is taking care of a rookie coming through and how they treated him. So he should only do that in return. So That's what I said. I don't really see him as a problem. If anything, I see him as a benefit on the team because he's a key piece. We can use him as a trade. We have him to solidify our position if Goddard gets hurt. And he's going to produce because this is a contract season.
Yeah. Yeah, he just got to be here. He's got to want to be here. I mean, excuse me. So that's the whole thing with me with Ertz. I love Ertz, but if you don't want, and it goes with any player, honestly, if Jalen Hurts came out tomorrow, it was like, honestly, I really don't like Philly. I don't really want to be here. Then all right, you can go too. Like I'd rather go 0-17 with a bunch of players that don't talk bad about my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't just bring bad energy. Obviously, nobody wants to go 0-17. I'm being facetious, but I don't want that type of energy. I'd rather just build with people that want to be here. They might not be more talented than player A, but if player B wants to be here, I want him here. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to come every day and work hard and rally his troops, so to speak, I got him. I want him. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
Yeah, with the Earth situation, I think a lot of that was on him because he actually played himself. As it was mentioned before, he was given a contract. Now, when he got injured, it could have been at that time he was a little frustrated at the fact that he doesn't have a long-term deal, so he didn't have that stability. He had no safety, so he was upset. But in actuality, the only person he should be upset with is himself for not taking that deal. And I think that's where it stems from. And people won't like to hear this, but a lot of it, I don't think Howie had to do with it. Howie was doing what he needs to do. Stay strong and stay pat. You have your offer that you want to give a player. If they're trying to exceed that, you want them to prove why they would earn that. Ertz just so happened to get hurt and didn't have an opportunity to show it. And that's all on him because, again, there was an offer given to him. He should have taken it.
Facts. And I've said this before in a chat with you, Brandon, and I said it about Steven Nelson, ironically enough, but it kind of goes with the whole Zach Ertz situation too. I mean, at the end of the day, Howie Roseman's kind of like the father at a candy store. Like, we all see the candy, we all want the candy, but it tastes so good. It's all we want it. And sometimes your father gotta be like, listen, we can't afford that. We what I'm saying? We got other bills to pay. So like, if it comes down to that, I'm cool with that. I don't want him disrespecting players behind the scenes. I don't want any of that happening. And that's what it sounded kind of like it was, whether it was, intended or not. He's got to learn how to be a people person because that is your job. So it is what it is. We stuck him in a closet for a year or two. So maybe he's getting his people skills back. But I do want to ask you one last question, man, before I get you out of here. Who do you think, because this is my favorite question, I love it. Who do you think is going to be the biggest winner, or what position group do you think will be the biggest winner from this signing?
I think, as I mentioned before, the linebacker group. It takes a lot of pressure off them. There was a lot of holes, and especially with that secondary. If you have holes in your secondary, that means all the pressure is put on your defensive line and on your linebackers. So now you have the secondary taken care of. So that means your defensive front line can play a little more free, but your backers too are going to be playing more free because your back end's taken care of. So again, that's only going to help out the linebackers.
Facts. I agree. I agree. Hey, Vic, man, like I said, appreciate you being so supportive on all the platforms, man. It does mean a lot. Are you going to start a channel? Did you start a channel?
Listen, I get asked that a lot. I think about it, but this is a young and hungry game. You got to be hungry for this. I always say if I was to do something, I do something like this. On the weekend, we have a couple people on, we chat, Eagles talk. I don't know if I can do the everyday, day-to-day news breaking and
that, yeah.
giving you that 10 minutes because again, I'm a father. You know what I mean? I got things to do.
That.
But if it's something where I would do on the weekends and have gentlemen like yourself on, I'll be more than willing to do that.
Yeah, well, holla at me, man. You already know, man. Anything I could do to help, I'm definitely here, man. But I appreciate you coming on here, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you letting me on. And like everyone in the chat, man, it doesn't take that much to hit the like button, to share, throw a comment out there. Do your thing, support these people. If we're a community of, Eagles fans, then we got to support one another. That's why I do it.
Facts. That's my guy, and I'm dead serious. Like y'all go on Twitter, and my man shares everything. Like that's how I first saw you, is you sharing stuff, and that's why I gave you like some extra time because it really does mean a lot. Brandon will tell you like every share, every sir. It makes. We talk about it. We be behind the scenes like, bro, you see this? They shared it. So we really do appreciate it, man. So I appreciate you coming on here, bro.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I see the hustle. You got to respect the hustle, and I see you out there. At 12 o'clock noon, what I'm saying? You doing your lives, you're doing your thing. So I got, what I'm saying? Again, it doesn't cost much for me to share, show everybody, what I'm saying, what you're giving out there.
Yes, sir. I respect that, man. But God bless, man. Have a good night, bro.
All right, man. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. All right. So next coming on, we got a young man that is out here grinding as well. I apologize for making you wait so long, my guy. But we got two more people. So it's going to be first Sports Talk with Let's Go Birds, and then we're going to have Big Pain coming on with his Howie Pass. We're going to save the Howie Pass for last. Do you see it? Do you see it? Are you on your phone? You're on your phone?
Yeah, I was keep
yeah, never mind. Yeah, you won't see it on your phone. But yeah, he got a Howie Pass. But what's good, my guy?
What's good?
How you been? I haven't seen you in a minute, man.
Jordan and Joe Castro.
Oh yeah, you know what it is, man. So how you feeling about this signing, bro?
Like, people don't know how much this signing has helped us. Like, people don't realize Slade can still be a top 10, 15, 12 quarterback even. And then we got Steven and then Avante in the slot. And then our safeties are looking pretty decent. And then our D-line was like, I think top 3, top 5 last year in sacks, despite not even, bringing that much pressure. And now we got Jonathan Gannon. He's working with a better defensive line. I think a better secondary than from Minnesota. So, and this all is up to Hurts if we can actually make the playoff with like an 11-6 and 12-5 record. If Hurts can manage the game well and the defense can do its job, hopefully injuries, don't take over the team like it has the past few years. If injuries don't, like mess this season up, if Hurts can manage the game well, this season is going to be better than anybody. All these people say we're gonna go 3-14. Hey, tell us what y'all think now. So
Facts,
has a big impact on our team right now.
So I guess you already answered this question, but I want you to go a little bit deeper, man. Tell me the numbers. Like, do you think adding, Steven Nelson adds more wins? How many more do you think?
I originally had us going like a 9-8 or 10-7. I think we'll start off a little bit slow. We literally have a whole revamped, coaching staff. So we'll start off a little bit slow. But like the Sixers, as we go through the season, we'll get a little bit better. We don't talk about the Sixers, okay? But
we can.
Don't smile.
We can.
We know about the Mets, bro. Come on.
It's rough for both of us, but we'll move on. We'll move on.
Yes, let's move on. But
just to kind of say the opposite real quick. Because I saw Chris Dunn put this in the comments, and he said he'd be okay with us tanking if we started off pretty bad in that first 10 games. Do you feel the same? Because like you were just saying, we might start off a little slow. Would you ever entertain that tanking idea to try to get an even better first-round pick next year?
Because I don't consider this like a big rebuild. I don't. Dang, that's a hard question to answer, bro.
I'll say this off rip. No. If we paying people, if Tank was ever on your mind, why waste the money on Steven Nelson? Why waste the money on Ryan Kerrigan? You got these players, go try and win some games. This division is weak, in my opinion. This division is not good, and ourselves included. I'm not saying that we're much better, but this division's weak. So, in my opinion, you got the players, go out there and win some games. That's the major key here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Khaled. But if, like I said, if we would have just went out there with bare bones and didn't spend any money, I would just be like, it seems like they are anyway, so whatever. But no, we spent some money. We look like we want to compete, so we better go compete. And there's 17 games, so unless you're trash for like the first 14, maybe you suck for the last 3, so you can get a better one, but not too early. I don't know, but that's just me.
You said, if you spent that money, why tank? So, but I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
With this Nelson signing, I know I just mentioned the D line with the sacks last year and the whole defensive coordinator thing. Do y'all think we might be in competition with New York and Washington for the best defense in this division now?
I think so. I think we up there. I mean, we have to see. We have to show and prove. I think health is the biggest thing. I think we've always been a top 15 or close defense, even when we're trash. Like, if you really look at the numbers. So I think that, yes, I think that we can be a very good defense. And I think the underdog factor definitely plays into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, my bad. But yeah, I definitely think that factors into it as well. Like, look, I really think that this year you put people like Fletcher Cox, you put people like Brandon Graham, you put people like Ryan Kerrigan, you put people like, the list goes on, Darius Slay, Avonte. You're starting to put these people in positions that they can just go nuts this year. Shout out to Manscaped. Use code PhillyTP for 20% off and free shipping. But yeah, you put these guys in position to be great, to go ball out, and shout out to Manscaped. That was unintended, but that was a good one. But anyway, so you put these guys in the position that they need to be good, to succeed. And I think that's what we were all mad about last year. Is we saw people consistently in spots that they just weren't doing well in, and there was no changes, there was no halftime adjustments or anything. So that's where I'm at. I feel like, I kind of ranted for a second, but we're in a position now with these players that you can move somebody like a Steven Nelson now gives you the option to move somebody like an Avonte Maddox to the slot. And I think that makes every Eagles fan way more confident, right? You know what I'm saying? And it gives you way more versatility with somebody like Kayvon Wallace, with somebody like, the list goes on, Zach McPherson. There's so much you can do with somebody like a Michael Jaquette now because you have your outside guys figured out. So that's my rant on that. Like, I'm very happy about that. That's probably the best thing for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we can compete with them. I don't see why not at this point. I mean, scariest thing about Washington is their defensive line. I mean, we can all admit that their defensive line is pretty scary and it's young, and that's a benefit to them. But our defensive line, I believe, either had more sacks than them last year or they were like neck and neck in the rankings right there. And then with the Giants, their defense got better, obviously, too. So each team got better last year, but not really because their record still stunk. I mean, the Washington only won the division because we high-key let them win the division. If we were really trying to win that last game, then the Giants would have won the division, but still they both had crappy records. So that's not just all bad offensive play. That's on their defense as well. So as scary as the defensive line for Washington is, or solid of defense for the Giants, I think we can compete with that. We were right there in a sense, but we definitely, those games where we let up a lot of points, hopefully with a better secondary and healthy players, we can kind of take that down a little bit. And then the Cowboys, they're just trash historically.
They did at Malik Hooker though.
Ooh. If he plays, if he play, I didn't want Malik Hooker. I mean, we could go back to my lives. I've never wanted Malik Hooker. I'm not one of those guys that now that he might go to the Cowboys, because it's still not signed, but now that he might go to the Cowboys, I'm not hating. But yeah, I'm not really worried about Malik Hooker. I mean, if he plays, he might be really good, but they have terrible coaching. Like that, you can't get past terrible coaching. You got a guy from a barn. Like I'm never getting past that. Shout out to your offense. They keep you in games late in the game. But I'm just not that worried about the Cowboys. I've seen this happen so many times. They overhype their team. So,
every year, maybe Jerry
exactly
pays the media that every year they always say how great they're going to be, and each week they have them winning games and they lose.
That's the Cowboy way. That's the Cowboy way, especially in December. So, sports talk with Let's Go Birds. I want to ask you one more question before I get you out of here. I want to know how many games, if you think it adds more games, how many more games does adding a Steven Nelson get you? Did I say that even right? How many more games will you? How many does adding what am I talking about? Does adding Steven Nelson add wins to the Eagles for you?
Boom.
I did it.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like I said, I originally had us at like 8-9 or 10-7. So I think it adds a win or two. So because this defensive line is going to be better, and now that we're going to clamp up, yeah.
It's looking good. It is definitely looking good. But is there anything you want to say before we get you out of here, bro? Shout out your channel and everything.
Yeah, Sports Talk with Let's Go Birds on YouTube. We're at 211 right now, almost at 250. Gonna have a boy Joe Castro on tomorrow, so can't wait for that collab. Yes, sir. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's about it. And sub to these two amazing, great guys right here.
Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. But yeah, we're gonna get on to our last caller, man. I appreciate you so much for coming on here, bro. You have a good night, though.
You too.
All right, man. Peace. All right. The moment he's been waiting for. I appreciate him being so patient. We're gonna bring the Howie Pass on. I don't know, Big Pain in the building. What's good, bro? So you're giving Howie a pass. You're giving Howie a pass.
Definitely giving the Howie a pass, because I always say that the love got to be as loud as the hate, man. Like,
I respect
at
that.
the end of the day, we was critical of Howie, and we didn't know what he was doing, his vision. And, the way he set us up, it's a win-win, regardless of the situation, because I don't think that the Deshaun Watson situation is like a myth. Like, I think that they're looking at him, but then also in the same breath, if Jalen Hurts balls out, we could put that draft capital around him. So this situation is in a win-win, and that Steven Nelson pickup is the guy who I wanted. He's not old. Like, I was tired of having old people coming on our team, playing one game, stealing checks. So I'm happy that we got durable young players, because that's the main thing, people being on the field.
Facts. Now, let me ask you, who do you think is going to be the biggest winner from this signing? Is it a position group or a player? Or
I think I want to say Jonathan Gannon, because
that's a solid pick there.
The reason why I want to say him is because I want to bring up Jim Sports for a second. If you look at how good our defenses was in certain scenarios, he never really had two corners.
Mm-hmm.
He never had two corners before. He just had the front four, and his whole game plan was designed around the front four. He couldn't blitz because the corners were trash, so he had to stay in zone. A lot of people say we played too much man, but that's because we finally got a man corner last year. So
yeah, facts.
So Jonathan Gannon, they said that he's more of a Tampa 2 kind of defensive coordinator. And, everybody knows zone turns to man after a while. So you can't play zone or man if you got guys that are too soft on the outside. Darby was getting bombed on. Vontae Maddox never really got to play nickel because our defense was always hurt. So the fact that we got big dudes on the outside that can cover and play that zone that Jonathan Gannon wants to play, I think I'll give it up to him.
I like that one. That's the first time I think I heard that one. And the way he said it, honestly, like, I agree.
That makes sense.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, let me ask you this now, because now you got me interested, because I want to ask the flip side of that. Who do you think might be the biggest loser from this? Do you think that the young guys lose at all from this, or do you think it's a win-win situation?
Honestly, I don't think, if I find a loser, I can't really think of a loser, because at the end of the day, Zach McPherson was a slot corner coming out of college. Avonte Maddox was another nickel slot corner. They even saying Kevon Wallace might get some some chances at that position too. So a lot of those guys I didn't even want at the outside corner anyway. They were going to be losers if they had to be outside. Like if Avonte Maddox had to play outside corner, he would have been a loser. That's not his position. We seen it. So I think now it's just okay. This nickel spot is up for grabs. Obviously, Avonte Maddox is the lead guy, but now you guys can all focus on being the nickel corner now. So I don't really see any real losers in that situation because none of us trusted our outside corner. That's why we also happy right now. So they trusted. Like Slay went on the internet calling for an outside corner, so they knew what it was. Avonte Maddox is like 5'9", you know. So like, I don't think anybody who wanted. I don't think any of them wanted to play outside corner to begin with because Jaquette got bombed on against Dallas. Like everybody was hyping him up, and then he got ripped. So I'm not even. It can't be any losers because they'd have been losing games.
Yeah, facts. I agree. And I said this before. I think it gives them a rookie year, so I think that's a win for them. To be honest,
I agree. I mean, I don't. The only loser I could possibly think of is maybe like Cravon LeBlanc, and he signed with the Dolphins, and that's not even a bad team anymore.
Yeah.
If this was like 5 years ago, it'd be like, oh, he signed with the Dolphins. Well, his career is going down, but the Dolphins are actually kind of good now. So that's the only thing I could think of because maybe he wanted, like Joe was saying earlier, maybe he wanted to be an Eagle. But other than that, it's a win-win. The young guys get to really learn. They get to learn a new system, so they're not forced. Even if they were here last year, now they still get to sit back and learn the defense and see what is expected of them and let the veterans go ahead. So, God forbid one of them goes down, they can fill in and really help out. And now I know you're giving a pass to Howie and everything like that. If these pickups don't work out, if Nelson doesn't work out, if Anthony Harris doesn't work out or anything, would you hold that against Howie and still and be on back on like that fire Howie train? Or would you say, no, he tried his best, stuff didn't work out, it is what it is, that's just the name of the game?
I definitely, this season, we wanted Devontae Smith, we got Devontae Smith. We wanted Steven Nelson, we got a Steven Nelson. You know, in regards to the Carson Wentz situation, you know, we didn't want it to go down like that. But the reason why I won't put it on him, because if we had Doug Peterson and Jim Schwartz, we wouldn't be giving them a pass with this young talent that we're giving them. Because, you know, at this point last season, we didn't even know Jalen Reagor was overweight. That was like a good, well-kept secret. Come to find out, I'm like, Jalen Reagor looks slower here than at TCU. What's going on? Like, why don't we get him? And now he's trash for us. What's going on? Like, now he's in shape now. The old line coming in with Landon Dickerson, that was a curveball for me. I didn't even think they were going to go old line. Then they bring in that Milton kid to go along with, what's his name, Hargrave and Fletcher. So they have the personnel. Like, they don't get a pass. Even though this is an evaluation year, and I don't think the coach will get fired after 1 year, I can't put that on Howie because he got us potentially 3 first-rounders, and we just by moving back 6 spots, and we still ended up getting, in my opinion, the best receiver in the draft. Like, we got the Heisman at number 10 pick. So I can't put it on Howie this year. Like, he showed us all wrong. He proved me wrong. I gotta admit, because if it was up to me, Howie would have been fired after not picking up Metcalf like 2 years ago.
Facts.
Like, I'm not gonna even lie to you. So I gotta give him a pass right here, right now.
I will say this much, man. I disagree in giving him a pass, but I do agree with what you say. I agree 100, which might contradict a little bit, but I agree 100% with what you say because it is on these guys. Like we see the talent in Steven Nelson. Like he said, he named all the guys we wanted, we got, right? We wanted a lot of these guys, we got him. We got a lot of the younger guys that, like, we wanted to give Jalen a shot. He's got a shot. We didn't go get some, big name quarterback. Like, we did a lot of things that in our eyes should work. So if it doesn't work, we can't really put that on Howie. And even if it doesn't work, he still got us so many picks for the next coming years that it's like we can rebuild with another coach. There's a specific thing that I really don't think Howie can do, and it's draft. Definitely. Outside of that, I've never really questioned his abilities. Outside of drafting, he can do his thing. He's a very good, and like you said, 2017 he put together a team, and it was up to the coaches to coach it. So, that's what they got to do. I think that these coaches are good, but we got to see. They've talked a lot. They've talked that talk, but we got to see, right? That's where we're at.
Definitely, and with just Howie, I think that reason why I can understand, I'm like, 50-50 with the pass now that you said that, because he is part of the reason why we had to get rid of certain people, including Carson Wentz. You think about that. He didn't draft as good for Carson Wentz, if I'm being completely honest with you. So we all know this. Any Eagles fan can say what they want. You know, we drafted Whiteside and Jalen Reagor. The receivers that got picked after him are doing better than those two right now in two different systems. So we didn't draft that good with him. You know, our running backs, you know, he didn't bring back Jordan Howard last year, which was a big hit to our running game. You could tell because he would rather run the ball with Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts than actually giving, like, what you don't see Tannehill running for it on 4th and 1. That's going to Henry. But with us, Carson Wentz is QB sneaking that. So I always take into account not to really blame everybody, but the personnel, that was his fault. Bringing in old dudes like Deshaun Jackson, he's a fan favorite. But you know what it is with him. He's playing 3 games every 2 years, and that's it. They're going to be amazing 3 games, but that's all you're getting. And then Marquise Goodwin, not gonna lie to you, he probably would have got hurt too. He stayed injured. So this year, he brought in a bunch of young talent to compete. Nobody job's really safe outside of the main dudes, and then us potentially may having to move on from big contracts like Brandon Brooks. Jason Kelsey's most likely not coming back next season with that contract. He's finding replacements for our old line and everything. So I don't know. I'm really feeling what he's doing. I understand why Doug Peterson probably didn't align, because this is not a Super Bowl go for it playoff season, but coaches are judged off their win-loss record. So you gotta understand, Doug Peterson not just gonna come up here and just give up losses like that. So you get a bad record, you might not be able to get a job again. So I understand what they did, where they came along like that. So, you know, it just sometimes it goes like that, and just hopefully Carson Wentz balls out so we get that first rounder, and I'm just happy about how he was been right now. You know, next draft, if he does some nonsense, then be on his heels again. You already know how we
Facts, exactly. If some of these draft picks don't work out, we might be looking at this a little bit differently. Yeah. But nah, I mean, hey, I'm excited about this season, and I think we needed this. As Eagles fans, we needed this news, because there was really not much to go off of. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was really happening. But last question I want to ask you before I get you out of here and actually get out of here ourselves. What is your opinion on Zach Ertz? Do you want him on the Philadelphia Eagles? Are you happy he's coming back? Do you kind of feel like a rebound? Like, what are your feelings with Zach Ertz right now?
That's a tough one, because Zach Ertz is definitely Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz. If you would have told me those guys and him and Doug Peterson wouldn't be on a team last year, coming this year, I wouldn't have believed it. And he's one of my favorite players. But in the same breath, you know, he dealt with injuries, and you could tell he didn't like what was going on. And I don't know if we're going to find the value back for Zach Ertz, but I can't really get mad at Zach Ertz for feeling upset. But in the same time, you know, Dallas Goedert is like, he's looking like he could be the guy. So I feel as though if we could get a 4th rounder or higher for him, I wouldn't mind, you know, getting rid of him at the end of the day, you know, because we still have that quarterback that's like 6'7" that we picked up to play tight end. We got
Tyree Jackson.
Goddard. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the team is not going to even be based around having tight ends like that anymore. We picked up these receivers.
Facts.
John Hightower, you know, he couldn't track the ball, but when he did, it was a bomb. You know, we got Quez Watkins, you got Fulgham, you got obviously Devontae Smith and Reagor. So I expect to see more 3 receiver sets anyway. So it is what it is with me, honestly. Whatever, if we could get a good pick for him or a good solid player back, maybe a power back or whatever they want, linebacker, get rid of him. It is what it is at this point. They got rid of all my other favorite players anyway. So I'm still not.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm still not over LaShawn McCoy getting traded for Kiko Alonso. I'm still on that.
Yeah, no, he's like, no, they got rid of everybody else anyway. I feel you on that. That was hilarious, bro. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, bro. I agree. I agree. That was a very good point too, to be honest, because people don't look at or listen to what they said. You know, they said even when Doug was here, they don't want to run 12 personnel as much as they did. They did it because of lack of talent, I guess you can say, and just injuries, right? You know, so like That's not what most teams want to do. You want to be able to spread the ball out. You want to be able to get these guys, down the field, and we weren't able to do that. So if we're able to do that this year, Zach Ertz probably is not going to fit that well. He's not an air raid type guy. He's not a tight end that you're going to throw underneath to and, get screens for. He's just not that guy. He does have a role. And hey, if he wants to play for the Eagles and we figure this out and, everything's all good and dandy, then I'm with it. I'm down for it. But outside of that, man, I'm not, I'm not kissing his feet to stay.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But hey, man, what's your name, bro?
Adam. My name's Adam.
All right, man. Is this your first time on the channel?
I have my own YouTube account, it's called Big Pain. I'm on and off with it. But I've been on this show. I've been on a bunch of Eagles channels. So it's a lot of y'all now. So so a lot of us, I should say. So it's I be trying to catch everybody's show and here. But when stuff like this breaks, it's damn, who's the first person I could click on? It's not my first time. I've definitely been in the channels and all that. So definitely.
All right, bet. Well, it was our first time meeting, so it's good to meet you. Welcome to the family, man. I appreciate you coming on here, man. Spitting knowledge, because that was a good conversation. I like that. That was fun.
Definitely.
All right, man. Have a good night, though, brother. God bless.
All right.
All right. Well, you guys got a little special treat tonight. You guys got Brandon. You guys got like two or three solid Manscaped plugs.
Yeah.
We're going big or going home, man. But listen, Brandon, I appreciate you for rocking out with us, man. Hour and a half. This was fun. Feels like the old days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like we about to go have some popcorn. I know, right? That was a lot of fun. We still got 30 people in here, man. I appreciate everybody that's checking in. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and shout out to all the new subscribers, man. I really do appreciate you guys coming through. But Brandon, you got anything you want to say before we close this out?
Nah, man. Just thankful that we got Nelson. I'll make a quick final thoughts video tomorrow on what I think on the whole situation. But other than that, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Joe's out here killing it. So make sure we're supporting him, man. We got to do what we got to do.
Yes, sir. And last thing I will say is shout out to Smooth Haynes for letting me use his song today, Clairvoyance. Go check out that album. That album is just ridiculous. And you guys are gonna rock to it while we go. So I appreciate all you guys. But like I said, you know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.
Clairvoyance, clarity, it's that magnetic shit, baby. I know some immoral guys being immortalized by people with smaller minds, caught in the facade of the clothes that they buy and the cars that they drive. A sharp eye could see that they pour inside. Those things are hard to disguise from me. They be on demon time until they meet Yahweh Shai and flee because they horrified. Pour wine from prehistoric times. I had foreign rides, now I need foreign ties. Iranian oil mines, underwater shrines, spots to dine near the Zanzibar shoreline. I never died. My past life, I let an Olmec try. Peep the statues, the lips thick and the nose is wide. Viewing artifacts in Europe made me walk with pride. It felt good to know these came out of Moorish minds. It's sublime. We went from the unemployment line to creating jobs for the crew. I want them all to shine, y'all surprised. Didn't expect my meteoric rise. I had to sneak ahead and now I'm with Jordan 5s. Put my haters in the meme with the Jordan cry. No style, you guys wear your jeans Jordan size. Fly secretary, keep my things organized. My body is the house of God, you know the mortgage high. To maintain this property, it costs a lot. This is not a place where pork resides. It's a dog-eat-dog world like Lord of the Flies. You gonna be watery-eyed, I had a ball to survive. Your lady is eye candy, body like a Mercedes, quite fancy. With mileage like an 89 Camry. Pinot Noir dominates the wine pantry. I move like the boss of the Lucchese crime family. My accountant, the modern day Meyer Lansky. I sweet talk Siri, get her to play some berry. Shining like the high beams on the 5 series. Niggas caught in my light looking like Bambi. I could have been in chow eating foul. Now I'm chewing on the flesh of a cow. It's halal. Designer specs help me see with clairvoyance. My style of dress signals that I'm flamboyant. My queen told me I'm the realest in the city. They gon' paint a mural for me like they did for Nipsey. The spirit of my ancestors living in me. They told me to cop the 760. Pull up in the hood and get a youth some hope. Show them they could get it without moving dope. I caught this fly shit without moving dope. I bought a nice whip without moving dope. Living a nice crib without moving dope. I got a fly chick without moving dope.